And if you're blue or in the pink, things are better than you think. Just color your world with a color machine called Seven.
Of the year, if you have a late night, that is, on the Saturday, because you lose an hour's sleep. So the time now, check your watches, just on 10 o'clock. Actually, this program last week and the week before started at 20 to 10, and nobody told us, or the crew for that matter, that the program was 20 minutes late this morning, so we could have had an extra 20 minutes in bed. Be that as it may, we're glad to be here, and thanks to the many people who phoned after yesterday's telecast of the Cox Plate meeting from Moonee Valley. We do appreciate your calls. Thanks very much for them. I think it was a great effort myself. With all the crew out there, our director, or directors, Rocky and Gary, they all did a marvellous job, and my congratulations too to Bill Collins for a great call. Good morning to Freddie Villiers.
Good morning, Peter.
They didn't tell you either about starting later, did they?
Both arrived too early.
Yeah, which is most unusual for me. Anyway, be that as it may, have you got some good news for us?
Yes, I think I've got some good news this morning.
We've got to do the Tats Lotto. Well, it doesn't matter this time of the year, does it? You naturally forget a couple of things. Draw number 320, thank you, Gary. 8, 13, 29, 5, 37 and 2, supplementary 23. Didn't have one of those. 8, 13, 29, 5, 37 and 2. The supplementary number was 23. The first at the Valley now. Our caller, Bill Collins, the favourite Professor Picardo, and the journey 1,000 metres.
Waiting for them. Racing now. Persian Saint began quickly out wide with Gold Raider, and getting away well is Professor Picard. Black Spells raced through on the inside with Arctic Region to join the leaders, and they're followed by Midas Man as they settle down. There's 6 of them in line at the 800-metre mark. Here's a great go for the lead. Arctic Region on the inside. Professor Picard wide with Prince Clearview trying to head them off, and then Black Spell. Gold Raider next. Persian Saint caught in no man's land, followed further back by Academy, then Midas Man, and further back in the field is King Dresden at the head of the others. Up by the 600, Arctic Region, Prince Clearview in front of Professor Picard. Persian Saint 5 deep, coming into it now quickly from Gold Raider. Then Midas Man. The others are well beaten on the turn into the straight. Prince Clearview got the better of Arctic Region. Professor Picard and Persian Saint's going better than them all out wide, and then Gold Raider. In the straight, Persian Saint outside, swept to the lead. Professor Picard is battling on in the centre, and over on the inside, Prince Clearview, and coming through on the rails, Gold Raider. Persian Saint in front and 1.5 lengths to Gold Raider. Prince Clearview third, followed by Professor Picard. Then further back in the field came Midas Man from Tyrula, who ran on well. Black Spell weakened from Midas Man, Academy, Arctic Region, Mesopotamia. They're followed by Worth a Grand, well back in the field, Rumour's Revenge and Roman Power.
Some good mail for Persian Saint, starting at 8 to 1 and paid very handsomely in the tote too. $5.30, Professor Picard, the unplaced favourite at 3s. In the second, the favourite Turf Ruler in second place most of the way.
Stand racing now. They've jumped well. Turf Ruler began well again today. Descendant away nicely, but Chasseur easily the best to get going. Beaufroid showing pace also with Country Jim, and Girl's Best Friend dropped out to last. At the 1400, Chasseur in front from Beaufroid, and Turf Ruler trapped 3 deep from Country Jim, and on the rails then Prince Othello. Eng Pao moving around the outside with Persian Otto, and then Country Jim a length. Descendant Glen Tew to the rails. 1.5 Dulcifer, half to Madison, and 1 to Girl's Best Friend. At the 1100, Chasseur 3/4 now to Turf Ruler, who's got in 1 off the fence, a half to Beaufroid and a half then to Eng Pao. 5th is Country Jim, and then Prince Othello the rails, outside at Persian Otto. 2 lengths further back in the field, then Descendant hard ridden from Dulcify, making some ground 3 deep. Then Glen Tudor and a length and a half to Madison, also hard ridden with Girl's Best Friend on its outside. Up the side now with less than 800 to go. The leader Chasseur, a half still to Turf Ruler, and 3 deep Eng Pao. Now they've got right away 3 lengths to Beaufroid. Then Country Jim. Here's Dulcify coming with a hard run around them. Girl's Best Friend and Madison still giving them a big start. As they swept down now with 400 to go. Chasseur ahead only to Turf Ruler, a length and a half Eng Pao. Dulcify looking a big danger. Here's Madison getting clear, coming around them, and then Prince Othello. On the turn, Dulcify went up quickly to tackle Turf Ruler and Chasseur. The 3 of them in line with Madison coming around the outside. In the straight, Chasseur, Turf Ruler and Dulcify from Madison. The three of them in line with 100 yards to go. Dulcify's finishing the better, took the lead. Here's Madison coming at it out wide, but Dulcify in front near the line. And Dulcify's going to... Chasseur's come again. Oh, this is close. Chasseur and Madison and Dulcify the centre. Turf Ruler, who got into a lot of trouble in the straight just behind them. And they were followed then by Prince Othello, Ang Pao, Girl's Best Friend, Persian Otto, then Descendant, Beau Freud, and Glenn Tudor is second last, Country Jim last in a sensational run down the straight.
Yes, that was the closest finish of the day by far, a short half head by a half neck. The margins, Madison got the verdict, that's owned by Sir Maurice Nathan, and Turf Ruler, the unplaced favourite at 7-4. Valley of Georgia, favourite in the third.
Racing now, Jubilee Girl away well with Mariala and Pink Panther. Wider out, Valley of Georgia began quickly with Crestula, and they were followed by Fiery Bell, Palace Gossip. Trulani given a crack with the whip early, and they're followed by Hey Bridget dropping back, Honora just in front of it with Delphic Rose, and last of all in the field, Tempting Offer. At the 1300 corner, and Jubilee Girl went to the lead, a length to Valley of Georgia, a half Pink Panther. Then about 6 wide, Trulani going quickly around them from Crestula, and Jewel bronzed the rails with Mariala. A length, Fiery Bell lost its place a little with Palace Gossip, and then 2 lengths further back came Hey Bridget. It's at the head of the others with Delphic Rose, and back at the rear, near the rear is Honora, and last going towards the 800 corner now is Tempting Offer. 800 out and Jubilee Girl, a length and a half Trelawney, a length and a half Pink Panther, and a half Valley of Georgia travelling well. 2 to Crestula, and then Fiery Bell taken to the outside from Mariala, followed by Palace Gossip, hard ridden. Honora making ground with Delphic Rose, Jewel Bronze dropping out of it at the head of the others, and last of all still Tempting Offer. Jubilee Girl galloping freely with 500 to go. Led a length to Trelawney, who's weakened, and Valley of Georgia's gone up to throw out the challenge. Fiery Bell running on well out, 3 deep, and Honora coming from well back, and now Palace Gossip's getting a move on. Jubilee Girl grabbed on the corner, but still a neck in front of Valley of Georgia. Palace Gossip's got a beautiful run into third place, and Fiery Bell's beaten. Jubilee Girl still in front in the straight with Valley of Georgia trying to peg it back from on the outside. Palace Gossip. Valley of Georgia got to the lead with 50 metres to go, and Valley of Georgia, hard ridden, is coming away. Great win to the top weight. Valley of Georgia 2 lengths to Jubilee Girl. Palace Gossip third. Well back, Hey Bridget fourth from Fiery Bell, Pink Panther. Then Crestula followed by Honora. Further back, Delphic Rose, Jewel Bronze, Trelawney. Then Tempting Offer and Mariala last.
Some generous odds available on Valley of Georgia, and a superb ride too by Roy Higgins, 13-4 favourite in the Alexandra Handicap. Now the stewards have withheld the film of race 4. Actually it was replayed during our telecast yesterday, but subsequently the film has been drawn by the stewards. And let's take a look at the result now. We saw a bumping duel between Boldness and Big Skipper coming down the straight. Big Skipper, the favourite, was first over the line at 5-2, but subsequently a protest by the trainer and the rider of the second horse, Boldness, against the winner for alleged interference over the last 200 metres was upheld. And the jockey of Big Skipper, that's Midge Didham, was suspended after the meeting for 3 meetings on a charge of careless riding, and so that puts him out over the Spring Carnival. Bad luck for Midge Didham, but I guess that's the way it goes. Okay, the big one of the day, the WS Cox Plate, coming up next on World of Sport Replay.
Do you know that Florsheim doesn't have one female designer, which might be sexist or might not, but does explain Florsheim's very macho styling? Florsheim call this their designer collection. If they were honest, they'd call it the Florsheim Male Designer Collection. I guess it encourages any designer when you're using some of the finest leathers in the world. The Florsheim Designer Collection. For men, they do it rather well. Florsheim, the real shoe.
The big one of the day was the WS Cox Plate, and punters really only wanted one in this, and that was the New Zealand mare, La Mare. However, she was under pressure about 600 metres from home. The call now by Bill Collins.
Racing. Lemur got away fairly well. Marceau began quickly with Hauberg, Family of Man, Vice Regal. Fralo showing speed, and Panamint dropped out to last and so-called second last. Down to the judge. Caraman's driving through on the rails with Lemur to join Hauberg and Fralo 4 deep. Then Family of Man, Marceau the fence from Vice Regal, Salamander. 2 lengths to Justice Steel. Panamint on the rails with so-called and Prunella 4 wide. At the 1600, and Lemur on the inside, and Fralo the leaders, 2 lengths to Hauberg, a half carry. Regal 3 deep on the outside from Family of Man, and then Marceau. They're followed by Prunella, a length to Salamander, and then came Justice Steel 3 deep and So-Called and Panamint together. There's 8 lengths covering them at the 1300. Here the leader Fralo with Lemur keeping with it on the fence, and Vice Regal now heading them all off. Then 3 lengths to Caraman and Hauberg together, followed a length and a half further back by Family of Man and Marceau the fence. Then 1 to Prunella. Salamander's lost his position here. Then Panamint on the outside of it came Justice Steel and a half length to So-Called. They've got 1,000 to go, and Vice Regal a half length to Lemaire. 2 lengths to Caraman. Fralo is there but losing ground, passed by Hauberg. 1 away came Marceau. Family of Man starting to sprint forward. So-Called commencing a run around the outside of them with Justice Steel, Salamander, and Panamint couldn't go when they sprinted his 2 lengths last. Up the side, 700 metres to go, and Prunella took the lead, a length to La Mer. A length further back, third Vice Regal, and then Justice Steel coming into the race quickly. Pushing through now, Caraman. Hauberg's gone, and here's Family of Man round the outside. They were followed by So-Called commencing a run. Salamander is next, and then Panamint on the turn, and Prunella headed by Justice Steel with Caraman the centre. Family of Man 4 wide, and here's So-Called pushing through. Lemaire's well beaten. Caraman took the lead from Family of Man. So-Called trying to get between them's blocked for room. Family of Man got to the front. So-Called came at it from Caraman. So-Called and Family of Man. So-Called put his head in front, and So-Called's coming away with a Cox Plate. He's won at a length and a half. Close to the minors. Dead heat. Family of Man, Caraman. Panamint got up for 4th from Salamander, Lemaire. Well back, Hauberg, Prunella, and then Justice Steel, Marceau, Vice Regal, and Fralo was last.
Pretty good run from Panamint, a damn good cup trial actually. So-Called successful at 5 to 1. Family of Man got second from Caraman. The distance there a short half head, and La Mer, the unplaced favourite, at 7 to 4. Battled on well in the straight, but So-Called on the day just a little bit too good. Race 6, the Silver Jubilee Stakes, and the favourite Bravita, on whom they put stacks.
Away they go. Bravita out wide, got away quickly with its Fantastic and High Fidelity. Curly Top going fast. On the inside of them going up is Stage Hit towards the leaders very quickly, and there's a big battle for the lead early. Bravita can't get on the track. It's out about 5 wide with High Fidelity. Curly Top joining it, and Parlo. Stage Hit getting right up along the inside fence, and there's another one, Miss Tanith. Then Henna, who can't go the early pace, followed by It's Fantastic. Then further back, Fortescue, followed by Family of Fame, well back in the field. At the 600, and Stage Hit led about a length to High Fidelity, and Bravita the outside now coming at it. They're a length and a half to It's Fantastic. Curly Top struggling from Miss Tanith. Bravita went up the tackle. Stage Hit is a half length in front into the straight, and they're clear of It's Fantastic from High Fidelity. Stage Hit doing it well. Bravita hard ridden, trying to get to it, but Stage Hit in front. Thompson goes for the whip on Bravita, but Stage Hit holding it in the run to the post. Stage Hit still clear near the line, and it's going on to win. Stage Hit by 3 parts of a length to Bravita, 4 lengths to It's Fantastic, third. High Fidelity fourth. Then Fortescue. Henna never got in it really from Curly Top. Miss Tanith, Rumour Lass. They're followed by Elfin Glass. Parlo further back with Time Zone. Then Sugar Shack, and last home Family of Fame.
The odds-on favourite Bravita, maybe perhaps a little bit unlucky, as she was always caught wide during the running of the race. The second leg of the double now, the Moya Stakes.
Away they go. Mistress Anne was the first out over near the inside. The judge got away well with Kamida Boy. Narenka going fast next from Shire, and there followed then by 4 extra Kerry's Son, Sky Boy, Ghost Dancer, and Nearest. The flying Mistress Anne in front at the 700, a length to the judge. Narenka 4 deep in the centre, Kamida Boy. 2 lengths to 4 extra making ground, and there followed by Shire, Kerry's Son, Sky Boy, Ghost Dancer, and Nearest. Up by the 500, Mistress Anne a neck in front of the judge, a half to Narenka 3 deep. 2 to 4 extra hard ridden. Then Kamida Boy, 3 to Shire, Sky Boy, Nearest to the outside from Ghost Dancer, Kerry's Son. Mistress Anne and the judge come away at the 400. They've raced 3 lengths to 4 extra, running on, followed by Kamida Boy. The judge tackles Mistress Anne. She runs him off the track, but the judge has gone to her in a stride. The judge put his head in front. Mistress Anne under the whip, fighting back from 4 extra. The judge just the leader. Mistress Anne trying hard the inside, but the judge is too strong and comes away to win. A length and a quarter to 4 extra, ahead to Mistress Anne third. Then came Shire from Narenka, next Sky Boy. Behind them Ghost Dancer, Kamida Boy, Nearest, and last home Kerry's Son.
Well, the judge was the one that everyone wanted, but still, even though it was odds on 10 to 9 on and pretty good price for it, and that won convincingly and paid quite well, $1.60. To the lucky last now, the Get Out Stakes, and the one they wanted here was Jester Boy.
Racing. Near the inside, Jester Boy, one of the first out. From getting away well is Bonfield today, and Private Talk up there. Minuetto holding her place, and Euclidean racing around them with Arbor Shane from Parvo. Then Art Treasure, Dandelieth dropping back from Amicus Amico, and then near Gem Comic Cobbler last with El Palada. Round the 1,300 metre turn, Euclidean led a length and a half. Jester Boy, he's got to the rails on the favourite. Half a length to Arbor Shane, and then a length further back, Minuetto, Bellavino, Private Talk, 3 deep, 2 to Parvo, Art Treasure. Then 2 to Bonfield, a length and a half, Amicus Amico from near Gem. They were followed then further back in the field by Dandelieth. Next El Palada and Comic Cobbler last at the 900. Euclidean led about a length, but Challengers coming quickly round the outside with Arbor Shane moving up to join this leader now, and also Bellavino. Jester Boy pulling a length and a half away. Minuetto the rails. Private Talk being sent forward, a length to Parvo coming into the picture. They're followed by El Palada. Bonfield's rider now getting stuck right into it from Art Treasure. Up by the 600, about 4 or 5 in line, and Jester Boy let go and took the lead. In second placing now is Arbor Shane, sticking with him, and out wider Parvo coming home hard from Private Talk. They're followed by Euclidean and Bonfield looking for a run. On the turn, Arbor Shane got to Jester Boy again with Parvo just behind them. Swinging for home, Minuetto was next. It's Arbor Shane getting a neck in front of Jester Boy. They're clear of Parvo, Bonfield and Minuetto. It's Arbor Shane and Jester Boy stride for stride with Bonfield and Minuetto picking them up. Jester Boy got to the lead. Minuetto trying to get to it from Arbor Shane, but Jester Boy in front and wins. Jester Boy by a neck to Arbor Shane, a neck to Minuetto third. Flashing home Art Treasure fourth from Bonfield, Amicus Amico. Dandelieth flew home at the head of the others from Comic Cobbler, Euclidean. Parvo stopped badly near the line from El Palada, Private Talk near Gem, and last to finish in the field is Bellavino.
The interesting gallop in that race was from a New Zealander, 33 to 1 shot, Dandelieth. He was well back coming to the turn, but made up quite a bit of ground, as you heard Bill mention in the call, coming down the straight. And as I said, a bit of a tip for the Melbourne Cup. There was a protest in that race by the second horse, Arbor Shane, against the first horse, Jester Boy, for alleged interference over the last 100 metres. It was dismissed, and Jester Boy completing a winning double for jockey Harry White, who's riding in great form at the moment after winning the Geelong Cup on Pura Marca during the week. Now, let's check the doubles. The extra double, Valley of Georgia and So Called, $13.50. The daily double, So Called and The Judge, 5 and 13, $7.65. In Sydney, $87.15 for Gentle James and Regardless, 3 and 13. At Cheltenham, $11.30 for 4 and 1. At Moa yesterday, $17.40 for 14 and 5. The two state double, $14.60 for 4 and 3. And yesterday's quadrella, not a bad dividend either, 4, 5, 6 and 5, $128.50. Well, so much for racing yesterday. Let's take a look at trotting after this break on World of Sport Replay.
Here's the clever idea in group transport. Quince's neat self-drive minibuses are savings on wheels. If you have a gang who want to go places, don't charter. Hire a 12 or 22 passenger minibus from Quince's and drive it yourself. Quince's rates are most reasonable. So for your next outing, Quince's. They're princes in savings and service for you. Ring 568-1122 for details. Quince's.
Mary, there's been a rebellion.
Fortunes change as the hated military take over government in the final episode of Against the Wind.
Heading towards Government House. Are you going to sign or not?
No.
Lieutenant Greville won't like that.
Well, that's too bad.
Louisa, we have, I believe, a special regard for each other.
We have indeed.
Why have you come to see me?
Oh, well, it's about my husband. Wilberforce Price.
Yes?
Well, you could have knocked me down with a feather. He's got a still. Right out there in the bush.
Don't miss the surprise ending of the final episode of Against the Wind, Tuesday at 8:30, presented by the companies of the Australian mining industry.
Yes, don't forget that. It's a magnificent show, that, and finishes on Tuesday night. Against the Wind on 7, of course. Well, the showgrounds trots last night, and a couple of good results for punters. They started off on the right foot too. Caldy Boy, the favourite in the first, and here it is.
Racing this time. Good shot, got away well.
Central.